Hello, my name is Diane. I am here to discuss about Fear Clinic for the Ustream thing, and I only just heard about it today, so I'm trying to make sure I can do this perfectly. I actually first heard about Fear Clinic through my friend Aubrey, who I'll mention a great deal in this video. She and I met online, and we are actually very large Robert Englund fans, Kane Hodder fans, and horror fangirls, as well as literature fangirls and comic book fangirls, just all things nerdy. But she introduced me to Fear Clinic when she first heard about it on fearnet.com. And for those who do not know, Fear Clinic is actually an independent horror online show. It was exclusively online for fearnet.com, and it starred Robert Englund as a fear doctor who cured phobias, and apparently he had never lost a case. And he is helped by Lisa Wilcox, who plays his nurse Owen, and Villa Toro, who is played by Kane Hodder, and one of his patients is Susan, played by Daniel A. Harris, and it is directed by Robert Hall. And we were there during the premiere, and we ate up a lot of interviews and all the behind-the-scenes things that came out for before it even premiered. But we were there at midnight for 5 episodes, which were going to premiere at midnight, wherever midnight was for FearNet, and for 5 days. And we did that for 5 days. But it actually came on 1 o'clock on my time, so 1 o'clock in the morning, and it would premiere. We would wait up, refreshing the button, just waiting for the premiere, watching it, and we would discuss it. And we ended up doing our own little campaign on it. We wrote essays on it. We talked about it through journals. We had a Facebook group at one point, which is now dissolved, but it was a Owens and Andover group. I did animated stamps for DeviantArt online to promote it, as well as to promote a second season. And we also wrote fan fiction and pastiches of it, and we had our own little theories, and we had our own little Fear Clinic world for a while. And we talked a great deal about what's going to happen in the second season. We didn't know anyone in the production, so we were all our own little clique. And eventually, we were also two of the people, my friend Aubrey and I, flirted with Dr. Andover online at his Twitter account, and he completely knew about it and possibly was remarkably amused by it as well as we are. But we were quite shameless about our flirtations, and he knew it. And he eventually did a online contest about why he should take you on as a patient, why should he cure you, and if in 140 characters or less, tell him why, and if you do, you win prizes. Being that I kind of discussed knew Dr. Andover on that Twitter account for a while before that contest happened, I basically knew his weakness, which was fear of failure. That was his phobia, and which was phobia. I'm not exactly sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's fear of failure. And I basically said, tweeted him back, went, because you have fear of failure and you wouldn't want to fail, would you? It was really cheeky about it. I won believe it or not. And two of the things I did win was this Fear Clinic poster online, and it was actually autographed by the director Robert Hall, as well as Robert Englund and Kane Hodder, as well as Daniel Harris. They're pretty little pictures right there, as well as Lucas. There we go, Lucas, who was the hydrophobic one. And fortunately, I do not know how to pronounce your last name very well. Don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to call you Lucas. But I got that, as well as Robert Englund's biography, and this came also in the mail with that, and I was very, very surprised to receive these. This was not autographed, but it had just come out at the time, and I highly recommend this book if you have not read it. I won those, and that was awesome. Thank you, Fear Clinic, for that, and thank you, FearNet, for that. Eventually, about 9 months or so later, Texas Frightmare Weekend came about in 2011-ish, and they had a Fear Clinic lineup, and it had Robert Englund, Robert Hall, the director, had Kane Hodder, Daniel Harris, Lisa Wilcox, and Lisa Wilcox autograph was not on this poster, but I got her. And I also had all the ones who were there sign it out to me. To Diane, everywhere. So the only one I do not have is Lucas, and once I meet you, I will definitely get your name to say to Diane on there. I actually discussed Fear Clinic with a great deal of the cast and crew that was there, and talked about second season. They said that at the time they had the script ready, but they did not have the funds yet, and they're trying to look for the funds and try to get a budget going. And they said that once they get that going, second season was going to go, and now you're doing the Indiegogo thing, so I wish you the best of luck on that, and I'm very happy that season 2 is coming, because I've been waiting for this for 2.5 years. So, 2.5, almost 3 years. So, I discussed, like I said, I discussed with Robert Englund and about season 2 and everything, and talked about his character. And I also talked to Lisa Wilcox, as well as Kane Hodder, as well as Daniel Harris. And Daniel was just very nice. I gave Kane Hodder a bag of double stuffed Oreos, because I saw her interview with him on her YouTube account, and apparently he had a weakness for Oreos. So I am actually probably one of the few people who have gotten a picture with Kane Hodder without him choking me, because I fed the beast Oreos. So, yummy. And I talked to him about his character, and I asked him also if he had a phobia, because accordingly to interviews, Villatoro himself had a phobia, and he discussed it as pyrophobia, which is fear of fire, and he based it off of course, his real life experience of how he got his scars, which was a fire stunt gone wrong, and so he kind of brought reality into fantasy, and that was a really, really neat idea, and I hear that it's coming in second season, so I can't wait for that. I discussed with Lisa Wilcox about her character's relationship with Dr. Hanover, and she was very sly about it, saying that there may be something, there might be something, we don't know yet. So it really tantalized my friend Aubrey and I. And I also talked about if she had a phobia, if her character had a phobia. She did not know at that time, but she was hoping for fear of blood, I believe, and which was confirmed on the Facebook. Thank you, Erin. And sorry about the trivia thing about the pyrophobia, but sorry really overdid that. But I had talked to her about that, and I asked her, since she wasn't too sure, suggested genophobia, which is fear of sex, because I'm a sick person, and I thought that would work really well with the Andover and Owen's relationship. But it's up to the scriptwriter, and it's up to her to figure it out, and accordingly it's pure blood. So that's awesome. And apparently that's actually quite common among doctors and nurses. Who knew? And also on her table she had this, and I had this. I debated on what to have her autograph, so I had her autograph Nurse Owens, and I took the funds that I was going to get for Robert Englund's autograph for Hollywood Monsters, and I ended up adding it to this instead. So, funny story though, of the 4 autographs I have of Robert Englund, 2 are Fear Clinic, and the other 2 are Phantom of the Opera. I have none that are Nightmare on Elm Street. I just haven't quite. I've met him 3-4 times already, and I still have not done that Nightmare autograph yet. But it's definitely on my list, and it probably won't happen on my 5th meeting of him, but maybe my 6th. But the other 2 are Phantom of the Opera, and because Phantom of the Opera is actually my favorite role of his, and my second favorite is actually Dr. Andover, most likely 3rd is Freddy, and despite having many Nightmare merchandise, I still do not have any of them signed. So even the glove, I don't even have that. I have my glove that's on my wall. It's not even autographed yet. Hopefully one day. But when I talked to Robert Hall, he gave me a little surprise, and he gave me, I'm gonna apologize for revealing this, but he gave me a DVD of Fear Clinic, and he said, "Go ahead and burn that off and keep it for yourself. Don't give it to anybody or sell it." I'm like, "Oh, of course not," because this is my own little greedy thing that I'm gonna keep myself. And I talked to him Friday on that. He came back Saturday, gave him back the DVD, and I burned it, and I gave him a present, which was this, which is actually a blank DVD case, and I made this little slipcover for him, and from the wallpapers that were available at FearNet, and I took it in Photoshop and did all that. This description is actually from the website, and what is your worst fear, basically. And I gave that to him, and he really liked it. And he said, "Do you have more of these? Can you burn more copies?" And I went, "I didn't burn any more copies, but I can." And Sunday I came in with a bunch of blank cases that I collected, gave him all those cases, and slipcovers, which I printed out at Kinko's, which cost like $12 altogether, and gave him that, plus burnt DVDs, and apparently I was in line for Robert Englund's autograph when he gave him one, so Robert Englund has this, yeah. So, as does Lisa Wilcox, and I believe the rest do too, at that point. And that is some of my Fear Clinic experiences. So, lots of fun, and I can't wait for second season. I am suffering from Andover withdrawals, and I definitely will get looking forward to that, and I am looking forward to getting the Blu-ray edition with all the special features, because that's what I ordered from Indiegogo. And for those who have not seen Fear Clinic online and would like to, please go to these addresses right here. You can find all 5 episodes from the first season here at fearnet.com/shows at Fear Clinic, or at YouTube/user at fearnet, and they have a little playlist on the YouTube account which you can watch the shows pretty much in order. And for those who wanted to contact to get more information on second season, definitely find them at Facebook, Fear the Cure, or at Fear Clinic #1 at Tumblr, or at Twitter at Fear Clinic Movie, all one word. And they will actually link you up to the Indiegogo account, so you can donate to get second season ready, so you can help us get more Fear Clinic. And for those who need a direct IP, there you go, the URL, there's igg.me/app/Fear Clinic. Definitely go here, definitely donate, definitely get some stuff online. And for those who are curious, what is my fear? My fear is actually dolls. Before you say, oh, you mean Chucky, I went, no, actually predates that. How I got a fear of dolls is actually a very funny story. I was 2. We had a very large big screen TV back in the 80s for big screen TVs, and I was jumping up trying to get the button so I can watch my cartoons, and apparently what came on was a movie by Stuart Gordon called Dolls, and it was dolls killing people with knives in various bloody ways, and that freaked me out. I was about 2, so I ran into my room, took my Barbie dolls, popped out all their heads, and took a McDonald's spade, basically a little shovel, and dug into my backyard and buried them. And you have to understand, I'm in Texas, so it's basically desert dirt. Everything's dried up. There's no grass actually where I lived at that time. So, and I buried them in the backyard, and I had no fence at the time. And being very imaginative, I thought that the decapitated bodies of these Barbie dolls would come back and haunt me and possibly murder me in my sleep. So in my underwear, I stole the largest garden rock I could from a neighbor's yard and put it over the grave to make sure that they would not come back to get me. So I do not live in that house anymore, but whoever lives there now has probably found that very bizarre grave of decapitated Barbie dolls buried in the backyard. So I apologize to whoever found that and was very concerned about what had happened. So there you go. My friend Aubrey actually has a fear of mirrors, and my mom actually has a fear of dogs. And among the stamps that I have, I actually have a list of phobias and people who marked off their own personal phobias. And for those who would like to see our Fear Clinic stuff, Aubrey's and I, you can actually contact me here. You can find our stuff basically there. And if you need direct links, basically contact me through any of these places, and I will send you a link to them, a direct link to them, if possible, or anything else. So please, again, for those who need to know, go to Indiegogo and please donate to second season. Enjoy, and to all you Andover fans, bye. Fear the Cure.